Okay. Okay. So Tadasana, that means mountain pose. So we're looking for a really strong, rooted standing position. You're standing to attention, you're rooting down through the feet, but you're lifting up through the crown of the head, through the chest, like a mountain. You root to rise. So we'll start with the feet, taking a look down, lifting the toes up and then spreading them nice and wide, placing them down again on the mat, little toe first, big toe last. Can you get them down one at a time? Taking the gaze back forward. Thinking about the legs now. So lifting up out of the feet, lifting through the arches, the shins, the kneecaps, those quadricep muscles engaging. Seeing if we can get this wrapping inwards of the thighs. Maybe take your hands and just feel that movement. The reason we do this, we get this internal rotation through the thighs that helps to release into the lower back, to release into the glutes. Find more breath across the back of the pelvis. Now we're thinking about our pelvis being neutral. So maybe take your hands, one hand to the lower belly, the pubic bone, and one hand onto the tailbone. And just play around yourself with finding a neutral pelvis here. So first of all, we're going to tilt the pelvis forwards. This is the anterior tilt. So feel how that affects the hands. Stick the bum out and then tuck the bum in, scoop it back at this posterior tilt where the hip bones are pointing up. Really draw that belly in nice and tight. And then use your hands to find a neutral position. So both hands pointing down. Releasing the arms. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Reaching down through the third finger of each hand. Engaging the abdominals. Lightly toning here so that we keep that long, that rooted tailbone. And we're lifting through the chest. The chin slightly tucked, long through the back of the neck. Gaze is directly forwards. And feel as though you've got a piece of string pulling you up through the crown of the head. So this is a really strong, active position. How often do we stand like this? Think about this next time you're waiting at a checkout, standing at the bus stop. How can you find this strength, this evenness through the body more in our day-to-day life rather than going into our old habits of kicking the hip out, collapsing into the lumbar? Let's take some movement with the arms. We're going to inhale, shine the palms forwards. Exhale, roll the shoulders down. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, keep them up here, roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, releasing the arms. Inhale, coming up and out, reaching up. Exhale, maybe sighing out through the mouth. Release there, one more. Inhale, fill the lungs, deepest breath you've taken all day. Exhale, release, sigh it out. You can shake off those shoulders. We're going to move it into a bit of balance work. So let's bring the weight into the left leg and inhale, lift the right leg up. You can bring the arms up with it. Holding here for a breath. Inhale. And then exhale, those hands down to the right knee. Inhale, we're going to draw that knee up, hug it in. And then exhale, let it come down, floating to arm's distance. Inhale, squeezing it up and in. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeezing it in. Exhale, release. Bring the left hand to the left hip, squeeze that elbow back. Revisit the standing leg. We're going to be here for a little longer. So make sure it's working just like it did in our mountain pose. Strong, that hip not kicking out, that pelvis straight forwards. Inhale. Exhale, bring that knee out to the side. Don't let the hips or the shoulders go with it. Keep them pointing forwards. You may find that knee doesn't come out too far. That's fine. Inhale here. Exhale, bring it back to center. Now we're going to bring both hands to the hips. I'll turn to my side. Inhaling here. Exhale, draw the knees together and squeeze that right foot into the bum. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Get those hamstrings working. Holding 1, 2, 3. Release. Straightening that right leg out behind, pointing the toe, and then leaning forwards. Imagine your body's like a plank of wood. Just lift that leg up and let the body go down. So imagining a straight line from the leg all the way through the body. Squeeze those shoulders back, elbows back, and release there. Well done. Shake it off. Got the other side. So bringing the hands down, finding our Tadasana, feet hip distance, toes pointing forwards. Shift the weight into the right leg. Inhale, left leg up, arms above the head. Exhale, hands to knee. And if you fall over, it's all good. If you're really unsteady today, find a wall. Find something to lean on. From here, hands around the shin. Inhale, lifting it up and in. Give yourself a big hug. Exhale, let the knee float away. Inhale, squeezing it in. Exhale, release. One more inhale. Squeezing it in. Exhale, release. Right hand, right hip. Inhale here. Exhale, leg comes out. Knee still bent to the left. Again, check that right leg, standing leg is strong, is tall. Inhaling here. Exhale, coming back to center. Both hands to hips now. Inhale. And exhale, squeeze the knees together. Left foot to left bum cheek. Really squeeze it in. See how much you can. Keep those knees together. Holding another 1, 2, 3. Release, pointing the toe, leg comes behind. Maybe resting the toe on the floor. Inhale here and exhale, pointing the toe. Lift the leg off the floor, coming forwards just as much as you like. Keeping that gaze down. Just feel whatever feels enough for you today. Squeezing the elbows in. And exhale, releasing it all. Well done. Making your way to the top of the mat. Start bringing it down to the mat. So feet hip distance apart. Tadasana again. This time inhale. Lift the arms up, take the gaze to the fingertips. Exhale, bend those knees deeply and fold forwards. So here we're going to stay in our forwards fold. We're going to take it into a ragdoll fold, which means we're releasing everything in the upper body. You can grab the elbows if you like, just to help get those arms a little heavier. And let's shake the head here. No, no, no. Give a little nod. Yes, yes, yes. So really looking for that release through the neck. The head is heavy. The knees are bent, allowing the torso to come close as you can get it to those thighs. Just hang here. You can play around with the hamstrings. You can maybe straighten one leg, then the other. You can sway side to side. Just keep that head released. Maybe take the tongue away from the roof of the mouth here as well. Trying to soften into the jaw, the face. You can smile. It's a good way to release tension. And then letting go of the elbows if you're holding there. Planting the hands onto shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the belly button to the spine. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhale, bending the knees, planting the hands onto the floor, and let's step the right foot back. Bring that right knee down. low lunge here. So find that point where your ankle is under your knee isn't overshooting or way behind. We're coming onto our fingertips or maybe our fists, just somewhere where we're not dumping the whole weight into that front thigh. Holding here. And you can take today any small movements you like. If you want to wiggle your hips to get into these poses, if you feel it a lot through a particular point, like here, that right hip flexor, often a little wiggle can just help take the mind off the pain, the knee stretch. From here, plant the right hand. Let's take it into a twist. We're going to inhale, reach the left arm forwards as far as you can, and then all the way up, following the fingers with the gaze. Keep that hand up at the top. Inhaling here. Exhale, roll that shoulder back and down. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, let's draw that left hand down, back, and then wrapping around and grabbing. Either you can rest on the sacrum, or you can grab your leggings, your shorts, whatever, at the front right hip. Inhale, open the chest to the left here. Squeeze that left elbow back. One more inhale. Exhale, bring that left hand back to the floor on the left side of the left foot. And then we're going to bring it into a half splits, half Hanuman pose. So walk the hands back, start to straighten that left leg and flex the left foot. Bend those toes. This is a big hamstring stretch. We're on our knee, on our back knee is where most of the weight is. But often we'll bring all of our weight over to the right. So I want you to see how much weight can you push into that left leg. It's going to intensify that stretch on the hamstring. Take a soft bend if you like. The hands are down to support. You can come onto your fingertips. A little less intense up here. One more breath. Gazes forwards, draw those shoulder blades together behind the back. Exhale, bending into that front knee, planting the hands and stepping back into all fours. Hands under the shoulders, fingers really spread wide. Knees under the hips. Draw the belly button to the spine, engaging the core here. Let's take some cat-cows. Inhale. Draw the chest through the arms, take the gaze forwards. Exhale, rounding into the spine, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale. And here, cow, reaching forwards through the arms. Exhale, rounding the spine. Two more. Move with your own breath. Finding as much movement into the spine as you can. Making this your last round. And after your next cat, your next exhale, meeting in all fours, neutral position. From here, we'll take it into puppy. I'm gonna walk back a little. So here the knees stay above the hips. The belly button is really drawing into the spine. This is not a stretch for the low back. This is all about the shoulders. We're going to walk the hands forwards. Those fingers still splayed. Those arms still active. Keep the elbows lifted as you bring the forehead down to the floor. And this is a good place. If that's a long way for you, bring a book or your pillow under the forehead. Lovely variation. Lovely modification for puppy. To have that support under the forehead reduces the strain in the shoulders. Otherwise, check the hips are still above the knees. Those elbows are still lifted, the hands pressing into the floor. Draw that belly button to the spine. You should feel this through the thoracic spine, the upper spine, the shoulders. But the low back should be safe, no compression. Holding 3 more breaths. See if you can sink a little more into the shoulders with each exhale. Take your time. Let's walk the hands back in, taking the head off the floor, coming back to our all fours. And I'll switch side. We'll take our lunge, our half splits to the other side. So this time, the right foot steps forwards between the hands. Give it a bit of help. Get up there if you need to. And again, coming onto the fingertips or onto the fists. Maybe taking a bit of movement here. Feeling that stretch through the left hip flexor. Keeping the gaze down but forwards, shoulders away from the ears. Planting the left hand down. Let's take this into a twist. Inhale, reach the right hand forwards as far as you can, and then all the way up, following the fingertips with the gaze, holding at the top, twisting into that bent leg. Draw the right hip back, the left hip forward slightly. Inhaling here, reach into this fingertip. And exhale, slowly lower the right arm back. And then wrapping that right hand around to grab something near the left hip, or you can just keep it in the sacrum. Winging that right shoulder back, opening the chest to the right. Keep sinking into that front knee. Big stretch here, big twist. Let's inhale, bringing the arm all the way back up. And exhale, releasing it to the floor. Let's walk the hands back, half Hanuman, straightening that right leg, flexing the foot, coming onto the heel, and pushing the weight again into the right side of the body, into that right leg, trying to even up the hips, find length through both sides of the torso. Option to take a soft bend here into that front knee if it's too much in the hamstrings today. Staying on the fingertips, drawing the shoulder blades together behind the back. Gaze is down at the foot. Breathe into the stretch. The inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. The exhale, finding a little more fold in towards that leg. One more breath here. And exhale. Let's walk the hands forwards into our lunge again, and then step back to our cat or all fours. From here, a couple more cat cows, but this time we're looking to shift the weight a little more over the wrists and then back into the hips. So drawing that belly button to the spine, pressing the hands into the floor. If the wrists are feeling like this is too much already, turn the fingers out slightly. From here, as you inhale, draw the chest through the arms. Take the gaze forwards. Exhale, round the spine. We start to push the weight back a little towards the hips. Inhale. This time, maybe the weight comes forwards over the wrists. Loading the wrists, feeling the stretch. Exhale, pushing the weight back as you round, as you bring the chin towards the chest. 2 more at your own speed. Taking it however far forwards or back you would like to. Last round. And as you exhale, This time, we'll push it all the way back. Bring the big toes together and the knees mat width apart. Let's come into an extended child's pose, but it's a wide one. So if the hips don't come all the way to the heels, grab your pillow, your blanket, whatever, place some height between them. The arms are reaching forwards, palms pressing into the floor, the forehead rests on the floor. Let's keep this as an active child's pose, so the elbows lifted, just like our puppy. Let's roll the shoulders all the way up to the ears, and then down and away. Feel the upper body, the torso releasing between the thighs. You should feel this is a big stretch through the back. Also a big stretch, the inner thighs, the groins, the hips. Option here to bend the arms if you like, placing the hands under the head, resting the forehead on the tops of the backs of the hands. If you're here, this is more of a restorative position. Just use the breath to find release. Let's reach the arms forwards again, and then push ourselves all the way up to come and take a seat. Any seated position that you would like. A little bit of height underneath the hips is lovely. So I'm taking a cross-legged position. You could be kneeling. You could have the legs out in front. Hands beside the hips, slightly behind. Let's lift tall here. Thinking about our Tadasana through the upper body. So that neutral pelvis, that tailbone lengthening down. Seat bones solidly in contact with the floor. Our pillow rooted through the pelvis, and then we're lifting up and out of the pelvic bowl, reaching tall, reaching through the crown of the head. Again, let's take some movement with the arms. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, release. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, this time, lean forwards, in from the hips. Bring the hands down to the floor. So a forwards fold in our seated position, wherever we are. If your legs are straight, I would encourage a soft bend through the knees. We're looking for a flat back in this one. So the arms are forwards, palms are pressing, elbows lifted. And we're going to walk forwards with that flat back, so that chest lifting through the arms and the seat bones still grounded into the floor. If you feel like you're coming forwards and you're starting to round, the head starting to drop, or the hips are lifting off the floor, bring it back a bit. Wherever you are, I want you to now think about ever so slightly pulling those hands back towards you and lifting the chest through the arms. So you're using this tension on the arms to pull against the floor to lift your chest forwards. Belly button drawing into the spine, keeping that low back neutral. And exhale, releasing there, walking yourself back up. Let's take a twist. Inhale, lifting the arms again, and exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So the left hand comes to the right knee. We use that to push ourselves around. Right hand comes behind, supporting, keeping us upright, turning the chest, the belly over to the right. On your inhale, drawing up through the crown of the head, the exhale, finding more of a twist. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Coming back to center, inhale. Lifting the arms, exhale, twisting to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee. Again, use that hand against the knee. The left hand comes behind, keeps us upright, keeps us forwards and not leaning back. Use the breath. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, twisting more to the left. One more inhale. Exhale, releasing there. Changing the cross of the legs. And then we're going to inhale, coming forwards again. So exhale, hinging at the hips, bringing the hands down. This time, don't worry about the flat back. So you can walk those hands forwards. You can bring the head down towards the floor. This is where another pillow would be great underneath the head. Reach those hands forwards. Let the back round. Don't worry about if you're not coming that far forwards, being up here is great. This is all about releasing any compression we have in the spine. So just rounding the spine, letting your head drop. Releasing into the neck. Inhale, walking the hands up. And then we'll take it into a couple of side bends. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale over to the right. Right hand down. The left arm reaches over. Inhale. Coming up to center. Exhale to the left. Left hand down. Reaching over. Inhale. Center. Exhale. Stretching through the left side. Inhale. Reaching up. Exhale. Coming over. Inhale. Center. Exhale. Releasing there. Giving the shoulders a little roll. Taking whatever movement you'd like before we come into our seated meditation. Just a couple of minutes to finish our practice. Finding your comfortable position. Softening the gaze to the floor or closing the eyes. Up to you if you want to lift the palms up to lift the energy, or you can keep them facing down. If you want to quieten any anxiety. Tuning into the breath. Notice how you feel after session. How does the mind feel? How does the body feel? The breath will tell us so much about how we're feeling emotionally. Just notice the rhythm, depth of the breath. Let's take 3 breaths together to finish our practice. Taking a normal breath. And 3 deep breaths. Let's inhale. Maybe lifting the shoulders. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. One more inhale. And exhale. Sigh it out. Last one. Deep inhale. Fill the lungs. Lifting the shoulders. Exhale. Releasing there. With the hands closed, let's bring the hands to prayer. And then rub them together. Create a bit of friction, a bit of heat between the hands. Keep rubbing. And then bring the hands over the eyes. Blink the eyes open into that heat. Letting the hands go. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your practice with me. Back next week as normal. If you've got any questions, let me know.